This fight was with Kim and Shells. I'm Shells.
Kev, 8 count sports, bro.
No,
This is an
we
impromptu show, but it needed to be done.
it wasn't improbable to me. I told you it was gonna happen. It
You
wasn't
did.
improbable to me.
You called it one round, bro. But no way. I'm still in shock.
No. I would say this though. Even though I did say one round, I really thought what's gonna happen it's gonna happen like deeper in the first round. But I didn't expect it to go this fast, my dude. I did not expect it to go this fast, bro.
Folks, if you don't know what we're talking about, whether you fell asleep or you just hiding under or you just under a rock, we're talking about Topuria knocking out Charles Oliveira, the staple of the lightweight division, in one round. He called his shot. He put him out in the middle of the first round. Shells, you got this right. You said this was going to happen. I thought you was crazy. I thought you was disrespecting the legacy of Charles Oliveira. But nah, you called it. We got a new superstar. There's a new superstar in the UFC, bro.
You did make that known when I made the prediction during the last show. But I'm gonna tell you now what I told you then. It's not that I'm disrespecting Charles Oliveira. It's just that Ilia Topuria represents the next generation of MMA. That's what it is, bro. Like, Charles is great, but is at a point where it's not just him. Remember, this guy knocked out Max Holloway, Alexander Volkanovski. Bro, these are legends he's doing this to. So it's not Charles Oliveira. The common denominator is Ilia Topuria. So it's something about his skill set that's making all of these legends look like normal fighters in the octagon with him. And it got to be the evolution. He's at his next level. It's like, it's like, you ever watched hear about all these legends like Dr. J, Larry Bird, Magic Johnson, these NBA legends. And we watch the games seem like slow to it seems outdated because they were playing at a different level. If you put those same plays in today's basketball, they will look confused and lost. Not because they're not that great, but because the evolution of the sport surpassed their skill set. And that's what we're seeing right now with Ilia Topuria against all of these legends. Like, his skill set has outpaced all of the legends that we're looking at today.
But this is Shells, this is special. And
No.
I don't disagree with you. I think every once in a while we come up on a person that's ahead of the curve. Like, if the skill set was here, like, it's not a bunch of guys doing this. It's one person doing this. It reminds me, the last time I remember seeing something like this was Conor McGregor. Conor McGregor, like the guys that he beat when he beat Max Holloway, knocked Dustin Poirier out, all the way into fighting Jose Aldo, 13 seconds. And Aldo was the champion for like the last 10 years. Like, people thought that Conor was, he's just yapping it up. Much less thought he's going to beat him in less than a round. that just blew everybody's mind. Like, whoa. And I think that's what we have here. Only difference with Topuria and Conor is that Topuria isn't as boisterous as Conor, per se. He doesn't have that kind of charisma. But as far as in the octagon charisma, oh my goodness, it rivals that of Conor McGregor, what we've seen. Volkanovski, when he beat him, was a top 5 pound-for-pound fighter when that happened. First round. Max Holloway had never been knocked out. Max Holloway declined the middle of the octagon fade 5 seconds into the... I said it to you then. I said they see something in him. There's something in this kid they see that they don't want. We'll talk about Islam later, but... Yeah. Shells, and to do this to Oliveira, the treatment is getting worse as the competition gets better.
True.
This is not, the Topuria treatment, as the competition gets better, he's further motivated. This is crazy. This is crazy. I have so many questions. So this is you may not. I am surprised. Like, yes, I felt that Topuria would win. But Shells, Oliveira, double hook almost had him down on the ground. He won the on the ground exchange. This is all in the first round.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
thoroughly he proved his point within the 2 minutes or a minute and a half this fight lasted. He proved
Yo, you know
this
what's
was not a
crazy?
fluke.
No, it's not. But you know what's crazy about what you said? It just remind me. When they was on the ground, I thought that he was gonna win by submission for a quick second. I said, nah, if he
Yeah,
beat
he changed.
Oliveira by
Yeah,
submission, that'd have been ridiculous.
it, it
But
it looked like that could have happened too.
yeah,
It looked like
yeah.
that could have happened. He won that. He won the exchange on the ground. He didn't even initiate it. Shells, he didn't initiate. Oliveira got the takedown. It resulted with Topuria getting on top. Yo,
Let me ask you a question. Do you think this makes do you think this puts Oliveira well, it definitely puts Oliveira in the question of pound for pound? Where do you think it puts him
Topuria,
on the
yeah.
pound for pound list? Because I think that's a given. He's on the pound for pound list.
Well,
Where do
for
you
me,
think
he was already on my list prior.
true?
Prior to this, I on
True.
personally.
Max Holloway, but if you had doubts before, it's solidified now. 3 strikes you out. He's on the list. Where do you think it puts him on the list though?
That's a great question. Before we got on, we were on the phone prior to this. I said he's one. He was. I had him at. Let me thinking about it. Upon further review, I'll say he's two. I'll still
Below
say is. I'll still say Islam is one. I think when Islam beat Oliveira at that time, Oliveira was delight. He was at that time seen
yeah,
as who can beat him. The names he beat in correlation with the way he won. Like these were stoppages. They were dramatic. It was stoppages, and he beat Oliver. He soundly beat Oliver. It wasn't like it was. Don't get me wrong. Topuria just beat Oliveira in one round, but a lot's happened between then and now. And not to water this down, but a lot. Oliveira is. Remember prior to the fight, I said to you, Oliveira's been beat before, and that was one of the reasons why I picked Topuria. I'm like, well, there's a blueprint. There's something there.
yeah.
Not everybody can get there, but there's ways. It's been proven there's ways to be Oliveira. It's happened. Whereas when Islam did it, no, not that version of Oliveira. Oliveira was a changed man. He was running through everything. That Islam did beat Volk, even though that was a short notice thing. A win is a win. He beat. I'll give it to Islam. But he's a one division champion though.
I was just gonna
I
bring it
wasn't.
up.
I didn't even. Bro, this is fresh, Shells. Shells, this whole thing
Yeah,
is
yeah,
fresh.
I was just I'm not mad at what you're saying, but I was just gonna bring up by definition.
Shells.
Ilya Topuria is the only one that's doing what by definition pound for pound great does, which is go to
He did
another
it
weight
before. He
division
did it before
and bring
Islam had
his
a chance.
skills and brings his skill set to that weight division and does what he did in the and because that's what the pound for pound means. Like if you could hypothetically put this man's skill set in any weight division, would he dominate? That's what he did. He moved to the weight division
Worse.
and I gotta put him as number
Worse.
one, bro. And you talking about
You might be
resumes,
right.
Oliveira,
I slipped.
Oliveira,
The two division thing slipped me. Yeah. Yeah.
you know what I mean?
Yeah, Shells.
And
That's
resume, you talking about resume,
the resume
3
is
legends.
yeah.
Like you said, no Oliveira, Holloway, Volkanovski in a row. That's his last 3. This man
Pound for pound, the
is
best
the
fighter in the world, Shells.
this man is the pound for pound, bro.
You heard
This
it
man
here,
is
folks.
this man is pound for pound
Yeah, you're
number
right.
1.
You were right. Yeah. That's what a major criteria in pound for pound. You a two division world champion. Yeah, he pulled it
And he's
off.
doing it in real life. There's no hypotheticals in his
And
resume.
he
This
called
he's
out.
actually doing it.
Yo, let's get into it. And he called out the guy that was previously the number one pound for pound
Let's
to
talk
smoke.
about it.
And the guy that was
Let's,
previously number one. And the issue I had with it, Shells, I said it to you then. I never heard Islam. Islam been on some anywhere, any place, anytime thing. This kid went up there. And all of a sudden, that the whole model went out the window. The whole model went out the window. I don't want to hear about Bilal. He called this out. I don't want to hear about Bilal because he announced he was going there. He shot down. Not even announced he was going. He shot down fighting this kid before Bilal even lost to JD. He was
I
shooting down.
mean, bro,
Unless
okay.
all of a sudden he was gonna fight Bilal. I don't know. I don't know, Shells. I
Yeah,
don't know.
I'm not mad, but I'm gonna play devil's advocate. I'm gonna go in defense of in Islam's defense.
There is none. Go
When
ahead.
when when Topuria called him out, remember the story from the camp, and we could all get this because you're right. If you say anytime, anywhere, and there's no, that's it. There's no stipulation. There's no, that's it.
Send
There's
address.
no,
Send address. Send
yes.
address.
There's
That's
no
them.
loopholes in. But the logic of the camp was that we don't want when we beat him for the excuse to be he moved up the weight division. He was too light anyways. So we want to see him beat a legit lightweight fighter in that division, so that when we fight him, there be no excuse when we beat him. Okay, cool. And then the next situation with him moving up to welterweight was he did say if Bilal loses to JDM, he will move up. But if Bilal wins, he will stay in the lightweight division. It's not like he fixed the fight between Bilal and JDM. JDM beat Bilal fair and square, so he said what he was gonna do, which is I'm gonna move up. But I understand as a purist, we want to see because this would be this real talk. Legitimately, Islam versus Topuria would be likened to what we're seeing in boxing with Crawford and Canelo, in the sense that we have what we consider pound for pound greats going at one another. Like this would literally be if Islam and Topuria, if Islam and Topuria, and I think they would, whenever they do, if and whenever they do face each other in the octagon, this would be not only for a championship, but who is the number one pound for pound fighter in the world, legitimately.
I think this is.
So
I think this is even better than Crawford and Canelo. I mean, don't get me wrong. Crawford and Canelo is for the, pretty much the pound for pound. We can agree on that. But Crawford is about 37 years old right now.
mhm.
Canelo Alvarez, we done talked about him ducking people. He's lost before. This like that. That's cool. I mean, it's great for boxing because we don't get fights on time, and this fight isn't really on time like that. It's a whole bunch. One person is two weight classes ahead of the other. There's a whole bunch of things tied into that. This
Yeah.
right here between Topuria, these are in the prime of their existence. UFC careers go like this. This bro. If this fight don't happen now, it might not actually even happen.
I mean,
Who's to say that Patty Pilmington doesn't choke? I mean, I'm just saying it. As far as the UFC, this kind of stuff is not unseen. That new face pops up like this. So, bro, let me ask you a question. I
let me
want to
just
segue into a question because as you was talking, I gotta ask this question.
but then the accent, hold on to it. Let me just interject. If Patty Pimlet somehow beats Topuria, as a purist, you just gotta accept that the Islam and Topuria fight isn't what we thought it was gonna be.
But I'm
So it is what
saying,
it is.
but that puts the value on these fights happening like this.
Understood.
But which is another thing. I think Islam was waiting it out for this kid to lose anyway, but didn't happen. But let me pose a question to you. Let me pose a real question to you. What's the bigger fight for Islam's legacy right now? Is it turning back and fighting this kid, or is it going up and getting the other belt at welterweight? Bro, the world is
That's
is,
the
is
that's the
buzzing
bigger
right
fight.
now, bro.
Definitely, the bigger fight is between him and JDM. That's the bigger
So is
fight,
that the bigger
obviously.
legacy fight? Is that the biggest legacy decision? Well, maybe I'm twisting the question a little bit, but
No. I get the question. Like in the long run, what would look better on his resume? Him becoming a two division champ, or him defeating Foria within his weight division
in a super fight. In a
in a
super
super
fight,
fight.
bro. Like when you say super, when's the last time the number one and the number two pound for pound fighters fought like fresh? For like this is that guy, this is that guy.
The closest thing was
Volk
Islam and Volkanovski.
and Volk was the closest thing, probably.
That
In
was close.
fairness,
Islam and
yeah,
Volkanovski.
yeah, I agree. That was the closest.
That's the first fight. That
Right.
was beautiful. Um,
Yeah, but that fight thing don't have the sizzle that this one has, though.
No, this is way bigger. I'm saying you said what was the last time, like
Yeah,
something
no,
like
no,
that
no,
was a
no, no, yeah. I'm not
that was
saying you wrong.
closest
No, no,
because
yeah.
when them two walked into the octagon, we was looking at two pound for pound
Yeah,
greats. Like,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Um, but what would be more to his legacy? I mean, on the surface, just look at the resume. He would be able to say, "I'm a two-time division, like I'm a two-division champ." He wouldn't be able to say on his resume.
Yeah.
Um, but right, so I would say on the long run, yes, that in the long run that would look great on his. I think him go on paper, him going up, technically speaking, him going up and getting that double champ status. Technically, he won't have the belt when he moves up, but him being a two division champ on his resume on the surface, I think that would do more for his
That'll do
legacy.
more.
But But if you look more into it, if you look on, but here's the thing: if you look deeper and you see if he stays in fights, Ilya Topuria, and you look at what Topuria did before he got to Islam still beat him. That's a whole different conversation, bro.
Yeah.
That's a whole
It's
different
a in the
conversation.
fight game, bro. It's big fight status, bro. Like, don't get me wrong, the two division thing, absolutely. But people done that, bro. Not everybody gets a situation, this kind of situation, where it's the fight of fights, bro. Like this is the biggest fight. I know we say this a lot in combat sport, like you come, especially in the UFC, because they make fights happen.
Yeah,
But shells, bro. This is the type of smoke that if he go, I was saying this to you before, bro. If he goes up there and wins the welterweight title, it's not even the story in MMA, bro. It's a footnote in comparison to the other stuff. In comparison to the guy he could be fighting.
well, let me ask you this, because Kamal Usman is saying that if Islam takes the belt at welterweight, he wants to go in and face him. That's a less. It's not the biggest, but that's another big
Uh,
legacy fight, bro.
bigger than this one?
I mean,
Bigger than
only
this one, bro.
because
Usman, as great as Usman still is. Usman isn't the story in MMA right now. He was before losing to Leon Edwards, like, and then Leon Edwards and whoever was the story at the time, because I'm not even sure if it was necessarily Leon Edwards, but whoever was the story at the time. You have certain times when here's your story, bro, and welterweight.
no. I'm gonna say it on paper. Let me no, not on paper. Let me say it for the record.
So you telling me? I mean, let me before you go. So you telling me if he beats JDM, he would then stay there and then fight Usman as opposed to
Going back down. Um, I'm not saying that's his plan. Usman is talking, but I never heard nothing on Islam stuff in terms of that fight. So I can't speak for Islam, like
yeah,
if he fight or not. But it could be possible that he's gonna just go up there, get the champ status, and come back down.
bro. If Topuria is still the champ, that's the move, Shells.
No, that's
It was
definitely
nice
the move.
here. I just wanted to nice being here. I'll be back. He gotta go, bro. He gotta fight Topuria, Shells.
But Topuria has spoken about going up to welterweight.
Yeah, but that's more unlikely.
That's true.
That's more
That's true.
unlikely for the moment. I think that's what I mean. He just got here. Like I mean, I don't know what to think. This whole thing is
Bro,
wild, but
nah. That's definitely the biggest fight. Right now, as we speak, the biggest fight that the UFC couldn't make is Topuria Islam. That's
he got to
facts.
come back down, Shells, or meet at a
That's
catch weight. Or I never
now he
heard the
can't do
story that
it.
Islam had trouble making weight. Was that an issue? I don't know. Maybe was it? I'm not saying it wasn't.
I think it wasn't. I think that's what it was, bro.
He couldn't make the weight.
I think that's what it
That's fair.
was.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think that's what it was, bro.
That's fair. That's fair. I can't.
But either way, as far as I'm concerned, we have a new pound for pound king.
We have a
That's over.
new face of the like. There's been pound for pound guys that's like, yeah, he's pound for pound. Yeah, he's the best, and that's it. And it is, that's kind of it. I'm gonna turn on sports and watch some basketball or whatever. Like this dude is the story, bro.
Yeah,
Like this is Conor McGregor. Like this is
that is.
it's. Remember when we was talking about Aljamain Sterling and the narrative of him beating Peter Yan and everybody hit, and then I said to you, but it can all change, with a dominant performance. Like
Yeah.
that'll change everything. Like if you go in there, the visual you dominate and
The,
all that will go
the
away.
fans,
Knock somebody out, it'll go away.
yeah.
People will the performance show. Remember I said with Canelo and Crawford, I said it's about the performance. I was like, if Canelo goes in and just steamroll Crawford, we're gonna say Crawford was he went up to weight class, da 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 da. If this fight turns into a fight, all of that's gonna go out the window. It's the performance for this kid and his really he's been dominated his whole career. He's been dominated, but in the biggest moments, even against other guys, he hadn't dominated like this. He's had 5-round fights. Like I've seen him fight 5 rounds.
Yeah.
He's dominated the creme of the
Knock out the
creme.
legends.
So
Mm-hmm.
Conor, like I can't even. Even McGregor had a barn burner with Mendez. Like, but when he fought the names, he put him
He
away.
tossed yeah.
Outside of Max, he put him away. And this is so parallel. He just captures the moment to call your shot. I respect you. He hugging Oliveira 1 round. You know what I mean? And, he dapping him up. Look, this is just a fight. This is a fight. Yo. As he turned away 1 round though. You got.
Let me ask you a question. Let's go back to the a potential Topuria Islam fight. Who you think needs that fight more for their legacy?
Islam.
I think so too.
Islam. Without question.
Yeah.
Because to me, we're doing this recording right now fresh off the fight. I had been saying to you, like, I've gone back and forth with people online about this and whatever, and people that felt he ain't running is Islam, yeah. I've been saying to you for a while, bro. Like, I'm turned off by the fact that if somebody is one way and they switch up, I just think especially as a fighter, if you saying anytime, any place, this is what people have been saying. This is Dana White. I called him up last second. He's a fighter. And this kid comes up. And he has credentials, bro. He done knocked Holloway out, knocked Volk out in 1 round. Shells, he saw something. I'm sticking to that. That's how I feel. I'm sticking to that. He saw something. Just like the rest of them, Oliveira's the one that stepped up and fought the kid. They see something, bro. They know. They know when they looking at something. These are the creme of the creme. They could look at another fighter's tape and say,
I ain't ready for him.
Nah, maybe not. Maybe not. Well, what's going on over here? What they doing over here?
Yeah,
I know styles make fights, but bro, Islam been knocked out before. That's not even. But whatever, to each his own. People ain't gonna believe it. People gonna think this is like people jumping on a bandwagon. It's not that.
This is what if I'm not 100% going against you with the concerning you believing that Islam is ducking, but I'm not fully joining that team yet because of, like I said, of the chain of events that led him to welterweight to move up a weight class. Like I said though, if you're gonna say anytime, anywhere, anyone, and anyone comes up, I don't want to hear no, yo, we're gonna wait to see how. I get that 100%.
None of that.
But bro, see, this is why I wish Bilal just would have kept the belt in welterweight, so Islam could have stayed in lightweight.
Let me ask you: if it's anyone, any place, anytime, is it too late? Is JDM signed?
That's true. He's not. I don't know if it's signed.
This is a huge turn of events. He wasn't qualified before. Well, he's about as qualified. He's more qualified than you now. He's more qualified than you now. So what's going on? That JDM fight, that's the welterweight division going to be there. What's the name? Ain't 100 years old. I know he's not. Unless we're saying that Islam is needs JDM is a specific opponent that JDM need. That this is the type of opponent that he's cherry picking. Because if he ain't cherry picking, then the welterweight division is going to be there.
No, I don't believe Islam's cherry picking.
All right, so the welterweight division going to be there, regardless of who the champ is. It's going to be there, right?
Yeah.
He got to make a U-turn, Shells. He got to make a U-turn, bro. He got to have
Yo,
one last fight. He got to have one last hurrah, bro.
I'm not mad at that, but the likelihood of that is so low because
I don't know,
they,
bro.
even though you're right, I do.
Unless
This may
if it
sound like
ain't signed, bro, and
yeah, it
he's
looks
the
like
Shells, if he ain't signed and he the guy that's this and he put
he trying to say that.
center dress and all of
Yeah.
that. This is what they be saying, bro. This is not as I'm not saying this. I'm not on quoting saying this. This is what these guys say. We don't anytime any play after he fought Renato, go check the post fight. After he fought Volk, go check the post fight. The post fight. This is what they saying. This this is the fight show. I don't want to hear about JDM. Nobody's checking for no JDM, bro. They didn't even know JDM going to win the belt shows. Even if JDM going to win the belt. Who thought that was going to happen? Yo, he had like a year layoff. Nobody really thought that was going to happen. No, let's not. If we check the odds for that fight, nobody. It's the UFC. Yeah. Nobody called that.
No, honestly, I'm gonna tell you. And I don't want to go. I don't want to go back to that fight, but I'm gonna tell you right. But Bilal beat himself, I think, more than JDM beat him because Bilal didn't go to his strongest.
Regardless of whatever, nobody was checking for JDM to win the belt. That's all I'm saying. Whether it was this, that, the dude got the belt, nobody expected.
Yeah.
Turn around turn around and do what you say you do. Do what's in line of what you claim to be to this point.
I'm not mad at that.
That's it.
I'm with you, bro.
I'm with that. We just watch. This is what this guy said. I'm going. This is just his quotes, bro. We was in court. Get the briefcase out. You said this, that, and the fifth.
You did say it.
Under oath. Is this what you said? All right, man. You got the defendant on the other side ready to fight. Come on, man.
He did say it.
The defendant is ready to defend your title.
He did say it.
Come on, man.
He did say it.
Come on, man. This is a legacy business decision.
He did say it. I mean, I'm not mad. Trust me.
If that JDM fight ain't happened, you're gonna be hearing from the fans, bro.
You mean if the Islam Topuria fight doesn't happen?
I'm saying if the JDM fight ain't signed, this is the fight. You're gonna be hearing it, bro. We just talking about it now, probably first. This is what we gonna be hearing about, bro. This is gonna be the conversation.
No. I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised
because that pound the best in the world. This is gonna be a vicious back and forth, bro. I had Islam until you brought up, and then that's a 2-division champion right here. That called out Islam.
He actually did it. Bro.
This is wild, bro. I think the fight gonna happen, bro.
I won't be. Even I feel because with the UFC, bro, if this is what I think the UFC is gonna do, and I won't be surprised if they, like you said, if the ink ain't to the paper, ain't nothing official yet. I'm pretty sure they're gonna look at the numbers and see the UFC. They're gonna look at the numbers and see what is the real hype behind Topuria versus Pimlet. What is the numbers behind Islam versus JDM as opposed to Islam versus Topuria? And between all three of those situations, we all know the bigger fight is going to be Topuria and Islam.
Yeah,
so I won't be surprised if we hear later on that the UFC has convinced or Islam has decided to go back down to lightweight to reclaim his belt. I won't be surprised about that. I will not be surprised, bro.
That's what I want to see. That's all I want to see. I want to see the number 1 and the number 2 pound for pound fighters get it in. Regardless of how y'all feel, fans, or who's number 1 and who's number 2. Because
that is true. It's either gonna be one. Yeah, it's either. I personally feel it should be Topuria because he's doing what a literal pound for pound king does.
Accomplished it. Yeah, he accomplished it.
He did it. He actually did it. Yeah. So
and Islam, and don't get me wrong, bro. Islam is all world, bro. Like all world. You know what I mean? I had him up until this moment. I had him number 1. Like no John Jones, no this, no that. He was number 1. This situation, but I was saying to you before, I was rubbed the wrong way. by the act of not fighting the kid. I'm like, why is he not qualified? Like, what's going on? It was, bro. It was a very dismissive kind of decline. You know what I mean? I'm
Attitude.
like, well, what? Why? You know, you don't gotta downplay somebody to say you're not gonna fight him. Just say you ain't gonna fight him. But when people start downplaying, there was a little bit of that, and I'm like, nah, he just
Well,
not
you,
broke
you
out.
gotta you gotta downplay him. If everybody if the dude's calling you out and everybody's saying you should fight him, there's no other
You could
out.
just say
There's no
you could just
other,
say I got bigger. I'm moving up in weight. That was the plan. You ain't gotta say it
no.
like the kid ain't
No,
like he ain't worthy. Or go
Kev,
fight this
remember.
guy and go fight that guy.
Let me stop you right there though. Remember when Topuria originally called out Islam, we never heard plans of Islam moving up a weight class.
That's what I'm saying.
So he couldn't
Why
say I'm gonna
why
move
not
up.
say that as opposed to make it look like this kid ain't in your class or he ain't ready yet? That to me, I'm just saying to me, instead of downplaying anybody else's accomplishment, say that this is my plan. Why not?
He
What's the
didn't.
problem in saying that?
I
You
don't think he
cleaned
had
out the
that.
division. Well, what's the problem in saying that?
I don't think he
Look,
had that.
is that not a good enough viable excuse? I cleaned out the division. I got plans. I already fought Volk and all of that. I got plans.
I don't no, but what I'm saying is that was I don't that idea was even a twinkle said to come up. That's when Bilal was still the champion. So he was never told about moving up until he said like. But going back to what you said, that could be his that probably was his possible ducking strategy to still look good. Like, listen, I'm gonna say this. Hopefully, this happens so I can keep my excuse and move on up. You know what I'm saying? You know, like Russian roulette. You pull the trigger like you hope there's no chamber in the clip,
Yeah,
but
yeah. It
if
is
it
what
ain't,
it
then you
is.
survive. Yeah. So but it's definitely gonna be the Topuria Islam fight would definitely be the biggest fight that the UFC could make right now. The biggest
Facts,
fight.
facts, facts, facts.
The biggest fight, bro. The biggest fight. Well, there you have it, folks. Tell us what you thought about Toporia's performance tonight against Charles Oliveira. And where do you think he falls in the pound for pound list? Is he number one? Or does he still have to, actually fight who many saw as the pound for pound before this fight in Islam Makhachev before we could officially give him that number one spot? What do you think is the biggest fight for both these fighters? Do you think they should both stay in their relative divisions, Islam in welterweight and Topuria in lightweight? Or do you think eventually they have to cross on paths and settle this? Please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button. Like we said, please show us your comments. And until next time, I'm Shells.
Kev, 8countsports.com.
And this is Fighting Words with Kevin Shells. Spread the words, guys. Peace.